everybody, and welcome to the Capsule Cast for Preseason Week 2. I am your host, Destiny, and we have a couple new people on. A couple old. We have my two co-hosts here, Anthony. Say hello.
Oh, hello.
We have at least a new face for this season, Oasis. Say hello.
Hello, I'm back from the grave.
And we have our special guest, Coach of Cold, Xmat. Say hello.
Hello, I'm here for the gravy train.
Alright, so with all the introductions out of the way, are you guys prepared to get onto some really good matches?
Oh,
Yes, sir.
We can skip the first one.
you can skip
Wow. Skipping matches, boys. Let's get on to this first one, Destiny. Let's go.
Yeah, sadly, skipping matches is not how we do things here. So, moving on to the first match, we have ED versus Cold, and honestly, some really good highlights. Raditz doing very well. Didn't think he would. And Cooler actually taking it to mid Vegeta, who mostly said to be ED's best character. What about you guys?
This match was actually kind of interesting how it went back and forth between the heavy hitters of each team. Cooler coming in, destroying, but also, Tien and Mid Goku coming back at the end and just showing the world that ED is in fact a North Kai team. Now, no shot to Cold, as you can see by the stats. All their characters did pretty good. Like, no one really did bad this match. Just two very strong teams going at it. Oasis, what do you think?
I mean, it ain't nothing much to write home about. It's a bit of unfortunate that Earth Defenders, just came off in the end. I guess they learned a lesson after fighting Sentai. That's exactly how they lost. And playing this match here. Good to see Raditz doing things, but hopefully
Right.
we're not going to see Cold Kingdom of last season, where they were hyped up in testing and preseason, but then kind of fell flat. And with this current record in the preseason, it's starting to look that way.
Hey, I mean, I am curious though about Xmat. Cold coach. How you feel? Preseason 0-2. How you feeling?
Oh, it's fine. It's preseason, right? Like this
Uh,
is time to test stuff. I'm not too worried. I know what you're saying, Oasis, but we've seen teams go 0-4 and then come back. Muscle, did that last season where they were 0-4 in preseason. They carried on in the main season. They brought it back. I'm not worried.
Yeah.
You technically were 0-4
Special
in preseason last year and made it to Isekai this year.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm not worried. For this match though, all I'm saying is Raditz as strong as a Cyberman? I don't think so. Raditz popped off this match. He killed Goku. It's a different Goku than what he actually killed in the main series, or basically killed anyway. So Raditz popped off. I think Frieza got a bit done over by Midku, but that's Midku for you. He can kind of just do that.
Hey, it was canon.
It was canon. I'll accept the canon. I'll take it. But Cooler, he did what I wanted him to do. He shut down GX.
It would have been more canon if it was on your map.
True.
It would have been more canon if it was on
Destroyed Namek.
Destroyed Namek on Namek's map. That would have been interesting.
I have an interesting question for you, Mr. Xmat. Is this the new Dawn? Is Zarbon getting the bench, or is King Cole getting the bench for Raditz?
Well, King Cold, he's getting carried by last season's performance, and he's still good. He's still very good. So King Cold, maybe not. Zarbon, we'll see because it's up in the air.
But Raditz is just styling on them, bro.
Mate, I know. Raditz is literally the G. He is the G. The only last thing really I've got to say on this match is whenever I go against ED, it's always like the tightest fight I've ever known. Like last season, I think it was 5k difference. The season before that, it was Tien on. I don't know if you guys remember. It was Tien on like 1 pixel, and we had 1 pixel as well. It's actually insane every time.
That sounds about right.
I feel like if Mid Goku didn't tag, you guys had that match. Because
Yeah.
because it felt like Mid Goku wasn't doing too much until he tagged.
Or if I don't know if you remember, but Mecha he did have a 45k performance, but if he one of those fissure slashes was a supernova, I think I win. But
No.
the way the cookie
Death
crumbles,
beams. Just bump the
or death beams, not so death beams. They're not going to
Yeah,
kill
learn
you.
learn from Cooler. Learn from Cooler.
Yeah.
Always combo into your death beams.
Oh, yeah. I'm not too worried. I'm 0-2, but this performance was still good. So
Nice. You got
Oh.
anything to say about Earth Defenders besides how strong they are this season?
Mid Vegeta only doing 26k is scary because we've seen how Mid Vegeta can go like more than elite in one match.
It just kind of shows they don't need
That's
their
all their
best.
defenses.
Yeah,
this is their strongest lineup, maybe. I feel like it is, right?
it definitely is for sure.
Oh no,
I wouldn't.
I
it's
wouldn't
missing
count out Krillin, but this is kind of their strongest lineup in terms of like characters and what they can do.
I mean, in terms of raw stats, yes, but I would say Krillin starting and take out Goku. You have your strongest lineup.
Hot take, hot take.
I think their team is incredibly scary in the sense that the fact that Vegeta had a poor day and they still won because Mid Goku just came out of the blocks and just destroyed. Even Enku didn't do that much, but look at Mid Goku.
They have a solid backcourt with Midku and Tien holding it down at the anchor position.
Tien's always been like a really solid watch out anchor. But anyway, shall we get to moving?
Yeah, I'm all good.
Same.
On to match 2.
On a match 2, Boogens versus GT and what is it? Something I liked about this match is just GT Goku showing why they built him with like KSA. It's not the transform. It's just come in and do like 3 super explosive wave ults. Also, any of you can.
Okay. Well, I was going to say the thing I liked about this match is the fact Jiro did more than like 100 damage or whatever, or 1,000 damage. He actually did some damage. Well done, Jiro. Well done.
Good job, Doctor.
Good job,
The good
good job.
doctor.
Yeah, I actually think that he kind of, he had a bad. I think he has a bad matchup against most of like the Boogen characters. So he did something.
I'd say that, but I think his bad matchup was just he got put against Buhan instead of a favorable one like Evil or Kid Buu.
Yeah, I think he just struggles against Phasm really.
I mean, it would have been the same thing either way. Evil Boo still does what he does, and he's tanky as well, so it would have taken even longer for Jiro to burst him out. But that was the plan. And then, really, in my opinion, his only good match was Popovich, but obviously
No. You're super wrong, Oasis. Jiro sucks up super Kamehamehas, and any character that relies on Ki is screwed. Buhan and Spope are his least likely matchups because they don't care about how much Ki they have. They'll just punch him in the face.
Actually, that was another moment I forgot. To be fair, he never got to see Spoke this match because Vegeta killed him on a sliver. He lived because of Dendays. Because of Dendays.
Honestly,
can you really say that about any other character if they're just going back and forth?
I think why healing is so necessary. This is exactly why healing is necessary. If he didn't have Dendays, he was dead.
Exactly.
It would have killed him with at least a bar left. I think so.
We love healing on Capsule Cast.
Well, he also had a really good grab that saved his life.
That is true.
True. I think this match is interesting, mostly for GT. I think this is kind of showing the kind of team GT is going to be in the main season. A more well-balanced team, not one particular guy popping off, maybe Baby, but I think having 3 of your 4 characters do around 40k ish, I think is a good sign upcoming. And obviously, Boogens are going to be strong. They're going to do their thing. They're in North Kai for 2 seasons in a row for a reason, right? So, both these teams are going to look good next season, I think.
I think my only caveat with that is I do think, obviously not just off this match, but because obviously I'm a tester as well and I do lots of tests. Super
Oh,
Saiyan 4
big
Vegeta,
tester.
Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta has looked scary every time I've seen him. Very scary. Like,
Yeah,
and they've got Baby, who obviously was very scary last
I
season.
watched
I
some-
think that they have.
I watched some tests with that man, and my God, can he just destroy a team?
It's like any Vegeta, isn't it? Other than like, even King now is doing well, but
Yeah.
But
done well.
honestly, to be fair, we have not seen Baby in a match yet. We've seen him in testing. We just haven't seen him in a full-fledged match.
True. I mean, they're just testing out, one of their weaker lineups to see how they fare. And honestly, even though they're 0-2, the results aren't that poor. They could be far worse.
Mhm.
So, they have a bright future. GT always kind of struggles in the beginning, but they pull it out in the end.
I do want to say this now because someone will put it up in the comments already. But Jiro was against Evil Boo, not Buhan. But I think it was because Evil Boo was pink and Buhan was grey.
Oh, true.
Oh,
They did
okay.
have the alternates.
Wait, no, I thought like Jiro tagged and then Buhan came in, and then he got sent against
Buhan came in after he was killed. So Jiro got killed, and then Buhan came in against GT Goku.
Okay.
But he was grey, so it's a bit confusing, I think.
No, I thought the only gray one was Boo.
No. I believe you, Xmat.
I was just double checking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I don't believe you. I just apparently
Buhan did kill Jiro. Buhan did kill Jiro, but Jiro was had 10k. The main bulk of it was Evil Boo.
Evil Boo.
So,
I guess
any
Evil
thoughts
Boo
on this match?
Evil Boo just went with the out spam Jiro with B2 that can't be sucked up.
Speaking of scary people, Buhan has been extremely scary as well in testing. So
True.
everyone's got to watch out for that in the main season because you've got Evil Boo
Buhan's
popping up
scary.
as well. They are very scary. Very scary team.
Although Buhan does have his downsides, he can pop off, yes, but at least from Door's perspective, he does have his moments where he will just do 20k and do nothing. So hopefully, if you're facing off against Boogens, that's the Buhan you get.
that's the one you want,
right?
But yeah, it seems like this was really a flip of the coin. One of these days, Jiro is going to. So that's actually my question is what happened to early testing Jiro, because he was popping off on the one build GT had off. What was it, Super Plus One, Quick Fast Tech, Tension Up, something else, and Light Body. He was actually doing more than 40k. So I wonder what happened to that Jiro.
I think it's just the opponents he's going against.
Yeah, it's just.
There's some opponents that you can't really caveat for very well on certain characters, and I think that just him against Boogens, and I mean last week it was an elite character, so I can't. While he should have done more, I can't really say he did. Do you know what I mean? He was.
Yeah, it was a team. It was a team loss. Oh, not every character can beat every single character. Sometimes you're gonna have bad matchups.
Yep.
I think in the main season, Jiro's gonna be a 30, 35k kind of guy, but that's all they really need in GT when all your other guys are doing above 40, right?
Yeah,
that's true.
But with that, shall we get to moving on?
Yeah. I know Destiny's excited about this next one.
Moving on, we have Venom versus RW, and someone else want to take it away? Because
you get too excited.
No, I want to hear the love for your team and how you decimated RW. Please go first.
Well, you may say half of it's because of General Blue, but I think General Blue still did good.
Put up a
Considering,
He did
fight.
better.
You look at the rest of the averages.
yeah, you look up.
Yeah.
I think everyone did put up a fight. It was just Basha and PyCon just decided to, pop off. And for those that didn't watch the, for those that didn't watch week 2 and somehow watching this or just didn't pay attention to what teams did, PyCon is our FA, and we lent Garlic over to Muscle to get Broly. And those Broly stats are just for finishing, by the way.
Clean up.
Yep. And one of our strongest people, Janemba, did not have to even touch the field.
Yeah, I mean,
Can we talk about how stacked that cinema lineup is and that team
Liz,
in general? Let's
the
talk about
team theme is a very strong, theme. Unfortunately, these past 2 seasons they've been struggling. They've been in South Kai, not doing that well. But this was always going to be inevitable with Team Cinema. Their characters are all very strong.
Yeah. It only takes one change in planning to get this ball rolling. Honestly, this is the nightmare we've all feared since cinema was created. Because with how, like Xmat was saying, with how stacked Cinema's lineup is, as soon as they figure out all their characters, actually beating them, it will slowly become like an inevitability, just like how beating Boogens as the season goes on becomes. And this match really proves it, to be perfectly frank. Fasha on her best game, PyCon doing PyCon things, and the fact that your strongest character didn't even need to come out.
Well, our
And
strongest character,
still,
one of our strongest characters did come out. Jane's like our third strongest, actually.
Bloody hell.
oh really?
That's most teams are like that. That's like their strongest. You've got some
Exactly.
talent in that team, man.
What the heck?
You,
I mean,
it's like
Go ahead, go ahead.
I was gonna say my two favorites at the moment are the Bowl of Cinema and Androids because they both have stacked lineups with like really good FAs as well. So it's scary times.
True. I was about to say,
We-
is Cinema going to become the new RW this season? And just go 14 and what
well,
was
I
it?
would hope not. RW last season got knocked out of the playoffs. That's not a fun way to go.
Well, that requires them to beat us. So I mean, no.
Yeah,
No way.
I mean, it's a very good match. RW unfortunately had a pretty rough lineup. General Blue in, it's going to be a tough time. Uh, they don't have Tapion anymore like last season, so obviously they got a little weaker. So we'll see how it plays out. I mean, for both these teams, the DBZ League is a marathon, not a sprint. So you got to keep your characters consistent until then. So we've seen crazier things happen. Teams who are supposed to be
Oh.
strong flopping and vice versa.
You're saying that thinking it's going to be a sprint for some other team or something?
Oh, I just think, you know,
Yeah,
in my
yours.
opinion, week 5 and 6 are really when the league starts. That's when people really start to understand what teams are stronger than which teams. But up until this point, it's mostly a lot of feeling each other out, seeing where we're at. So we'll see.
I think
Alright.
I mean, with that being said, I think RW needs to possibly get to the starting line first because Yajirobe has not been consistent even since last season. And then General Blue, he has his moments. He's had moments in testing, but he's literally never had a standout moment in league.
Which is funny because Yaj this week started with like a Dragon Spirit attack build. So when he had, so for like an example, he was versus Fasha, right? Fasha barely even got to 1 Blastock. He was already at 2.
Yeah,
But
the power of Pataras.
but well, you say that, but the AI also has to follow it. The AI barely used the Blastocks. It was like for 1 max power mode, and that was it.
Well, hopefully that's what you do in testing. You figure out the AIs, right? So
Mm-hmm.
Just gotta hope. But yeah, RW, I hope you can keep it up. You're in North Kai, but I hope you don't fall too far in cinema. You're looking bright this future. Can't wait to see what you do.
Mm-hmm.
I can definitely wait. Hopefully, I mean, no offense to Destiny, but like I was telling this to Anthony, I think it was you, Xmat, the other day, how there's one team I don't want to see uh I reach their full potential is yours.
Oh,
No
really?
lie. Yes. Like
Supernova spam?
Man, we would find a way to talk about Cole. We already got through their
I
match.
didn't.
Jeez.
I didn't even bring it up. So
I'm
it was
sure.
cold in cinema, dude. Like
Yeah, I'm sure.
cold for the fact that Ultimate Spam is
Also,
just but yeah.
also, can I just point out how great the Dr. Broly, Mr. Broly is?
Yes, your banner is definitely top tier for sure.
oh, it is. The banner is great.
But with that, shall we get moving on?
Oh yeah, we got
I think
covered.
it is about time.
This next match is a goodie.
This, well, now we have match 4 with Kaiju and your 2021, I don't know why there was an extra 20 there, champions, Royals, and really, this match felt way too close for how the stats look.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mhm.
it was basically Metacooler popping off, and then Scouter tried to bring that comeback, but Slug hurts when he's on low health.
Yeah, this is scary, man. I mean, you look at Royals lineup; they didn't even have Deborah or Majin Vegeta out. All they needed was a classic Metacooler spam the ult technique, and by spam I mean just destroy Bardock. You see his damage there. Very sad. But I keep saying it every time, but it's true. Both these teams are strong. Kaiju is a very solid team that's just had some bad luck. And now that they got Adult Gohan, who in my opinion is like the second best FA, it's already looking up for them. And Royals, 2021 champs, they're showing it. I'm worried they'll get to the finals again and do it all over again the way they're looking this season.
Hold on, you say he's the second best FA. Most people would beg to differ. Who do you think is the best?
We'll get to that later.
I already know who it is.
Okay.
We'll get to that later.
Okay. Your second choice, but okay.
I mean, we'll get to that later. The tier list might agree with me, but you never know. I guess it's a little different.
My thoughts on this match, if I'm honest, is Tambourine again doing well. Like he's looking consistent. I'm kind of. I don't want to regurgitate it, but who do you think Royals will drop someone with Tambourine? Because he is looking good. Like I feel like King Vegeta or Slug could be on the chop.
I feel like it was going to be King Vegeta, but he has actually done good in like testing and of course previous week. I just think this wasn't that great of matchup wise for him.
Trust me, I know he did well last week.
Yeah. Same with I don't think Slug would be on the chopping block, so it's really just hard to figure out who's going to be out for Tam, because normally you would think like someone like Deborah, at least looking at previous seasons of how he's been doing, but Deborah is actually like showing himself up, and so is the rest of the team, so it's really hard.
I think it's obvious. I think Slug is kind of a redundancy. They have people like King Vegeta. Yeah, Tambourine is a better melee character than Slug, and King Vegeta probably uses EO better than Slug. I think. Eventually
The only issue there is you don't have a spammer then, and I think that Slug is.
Well,
they got two. They got Majin Vegeta and Deborah right there.
Deborah is a bit of a mixed bag.
Well, actually, also King Vegeta is more of the spammer type for their team right now.
You can spam, but the problem is the B2 he spams can be annoying as Kaiju.
Mm-hmm.
I
inherently
think
go.
something we need to realize is that every single character in their lineup all have a 2-bar B2.
Yeah.
Every single one. That's the scary part. So while Slug might be gone, are they losing that much?
Wait, does that make me scary as well
They
I'm
are though.
just-
So here's the thing.
then?
But losing Slug loses out on, life after death, mechanics. So as we already discussed, Slug at low health transforms as with his,
Just like
charge
one B2 does like 10k.
exactly.
It's why I love Freezer and having him transform, because he does the same thing. He transforms into an
Hold on,
Overstrike.
but you were talking about how you didn't like him transforming the other day. What do you mean?
No, what do you mean? Who said? Oh, that wasn't me. If that was me,
You said
then I don't know.
100%. You said when he goes 100%, you lose.
Oh no. I think I may have joked. I think I was saying about like when he was in 100% form, like when he was last
Yeah.
season, when he was always in 100% form. But when he
So it was
transforms and just does an Overstrike, like yeah, go on then.
I
Yeah.
like how we're somehow always bringing this back to Cold.
No, I
I-
was just saying it as like an example. Like I get why you would want someone to transform. It's the same with apes as well.
Yeah.
You transform
And
and you just
well, just giants in general as well. Also, get to
Yeah.
later.
I mean, the question I think they need to ask themselves is, do I want a character that's going to do 47k immediately, or do I want a character that may or may not do well and then have to transform to start really picking it up? And I mean, if you're okay with one or the other, that's on you.
And I don't think it's the fact that they have to have Slug transform. It's just Slug transforming is such a huge benefit more than his base form. Even though his base form spamming still does decently well. He has the finger beam. He keeps darkness
Hey,
eye
hey,
beam.
don't-
It's just
don't
really the
lie to
ult.
us. Don't lie to us. It does not do well.
You-
Like his B2s and base form are so bad.
I mean,
No.
I have an agenda, okay? Tambourine is better than Slug, and that's just the agenda I'm pushing. And so far, he's proven me right. So congrats, Tambourine.
Can we? So
Like
we
Cameron
quickly.
also-
Can I quickly say something about Kaiju as well? I just like. I want to say that they did do pretty well to bring it close with Scouter bringing it back.
Yes, yes.
Even
and
Turles and Gohan still doing like
decent,
35 plus. It's just Bardock didn't have
But-
a good
got
matchup.
ulted.
Bardock was on a different build. This is what I was going to say. Bardock was on like a spam build as opposed to his attack build, which was last week. I was speaking to
Well,
Rafa, the Kaiju coach about
He,
this.
he he's generally on. He's generally been on a spam build. It's more. I think it's more. It was a different spam build than what he normally has.
No, but like last week and
He was
more recently, they've been testing like a melee sort of build, like an
Yeah.
attack one sort of all rounder build. I think it is on a different AI, and
Oh.
it did do well. So if he was on that build, maybe Kaiju could have won because I feel like he might have done more than 10k.
Yeah, that's
but
fair.
they did well to bring it back.
But-
What I'm saying, the Scout.
Yeah, like honestly, I know Scouter doesn't always do like super well, but don't count him out. Like if he
I think
doesn't
they
get
figured him out.
He's one of their best. Who's counting him out?
well, if he does just get immediately blasted like he did the previous week, it is kind of
Yeah.
hard. It is kind of hard to. It's easier to justify him just getting blasted and not reaching his potential than having him potentially do what he did this week. Because Scouter is just one of those characters that does tend to be hit or miss sometimes.
Oh yeah, for sure. He's definitely inconsistent, but sometimes you just gotta take the good with the bad.
I think they may have figured him out a bit more this season. We'll see because
We'll see.
he looked good in tests.
So with that, I think he spent a little bit on this match, so want to move on.
Yeah.
All right, well, moving on to match 5. I know Anthony's favorite match right here.
Yeah.
Been with bated breath waiting.
But there are some decent moments this match. Trunks looking, back to form, doing almost 90,000. But what's this
Back
that
to
catches
form.
what's this that catches my eye here? It's someone that's not usually on androids or on the field at all. Is that Tapion?
Yeah, or the best
Yeah.
FA in the league, Tapion. We had to bring him out, see what he can do against, a really strong team, Muscle. And, he showed up. He transformed into Harudagarn, a new addition in 2022. And, a little jank here and there. I'm not calling shenanigans. Muscle's an honorable team. I'm just saying. It's a little interesting how it happened. But I appreciated the data that we gathered from this match. Win or loss.
This dude. This dude.
I learned a lot from this match, honestly.
You learn that not to trust Harudagarn Ultimate. Which, speaking of, is this? Yes, I did say that right. Harudagarn, Tapion has been allowed to go into the Harudagarn transformation,
Mhm.
which was
So
a reason why we were saying Giants pretty good.
he is the best giant in the league for sure. He is a monster. So
I think Giant 8 Baby would give him a run for his money.
you know what? You might have a point there. We'll have to see them fight one day. I think that'll be a fun match. A little kaiju fight. So
I will say though, based on the stats, it's interesting to see how even Muscle and androids are. 44 for 13, 40 for Cell, 36 for Garlic, 26 for 16, 87 for Trunks, 81 for Tapion, 8K for Devilman, 14 for 19. I mean, can't get more even than that.
it's classic rivalry. Been happening since season 1. They're fighting each other.
But honestly, I think it would have gone Android's way if one, Garlic was not able to tag because he came back in with Savior to disrupt the power, to disrupt the ultimate body of Harudagarn, and two, if the Harudagarn ult actually hit when Devilman went back into it.
Yeah. Listen, I'm not gonna wallow. I enjoyed this match. Muscle was a very entertaining team. I enjoyed Cell versus Big Blue 13. That was a very fun match. And 19, you might be a bench warmer this season. Sorry to say, brother, but it's just how the
We got
cookie crumbles.
we got two names that have to do with 17
See,
that
now,
have to
my
come in.
question to you is, Anthony, do you think it would have turned out differently if you swapped Cell and 16?
If we swap them, no,
Yeah.
because currently we're tuning up 16, and I don't think that version of him would have been able to beat up 13. Personally, I think Cell was our best bet, and I think he did the best he could. He made it pretty even, and that's all I can ask. He did his 40k.
Can we just give a dunce's cap to both Devilman and 19? I think we can all agree.
Yeah.
They both did.
Well,
Devilman, I do feel a bit
Okay.
bad for because Harudagarn, he can't.
I
It's a
wouldn't
bit of a
say,
bad matchup. But...
and I can't believe I'm saying this. Don't give the dunce hat to 19. He got a very, very bad matchup. He was versus
Yeah, he
Trunks.
did. Yeah.
So don't
Yeah,
don't give
Adult
it to
Trunks
him.
is not playing this match. He was very upset.
I would
he was
still
angry.
say there's a potential argument that Devilman's matchup versus Harudagarn was worse, though.
Well,
because
He had the Devil Might beam. He didn't shoot it off.
Eh,
Harudagarn would
he
have been
didn't do
that.
that as well. That deserves a
yeah, technically, with Tapion having the transformation, it's Devil Might Beam can either be a good or a bad one, or because with Devil Might Beam on regular Tapion, it will still do something. It just wouldn't do as much. With Devil Might Beam on Harudagarn, it probably would have almost insta killed.
Yeah.
Especially
Should've
since he
insta-killed,
always
yeah.
transforms at low health.
I mean,
Alright, then we're definitely killed.
I enjoyed
the
this
only
match.
thoughts I have on this match is. Oh, carry on. Sorry.
Oh no, I was just the only thing was that considering Devilman only saw large Harudagarn, not firing off that Devil Might Beam is probably what cost him.
Or not landing like a fork U.
Bingo, yeah.
Yeah.
The only thing that would have been bad here is his rush or just going in for melee.
Yeah.
But honestly, my closing thought is, my God, I'm scared of Trunks again.
He's scary. He's definitely gonna, since Broly's gone, he's gonna have to carry muscle on his back, but I think he can do it with those kinds of performances he's pulling out.
And we know what 13 can do. It's just it was just at the start nature of attack users.
Is
my-
two S tier characters fighting it out, you know?
My scary thought is right. So Muscle have done this to androids, but this is an androids without 17 or Super 17, both of which have looked very good. So
Electric
it's
Health
scary. I am a bit scared of androids because it was very close without those characters. Obviously, Devilman was in this as well, but you know.
Electric
Oh,
Health.
we'll Electric Hellsphere. We'll get into that Xmat in the predictions part. So stay tuned.
Okay.
But I guess, did we all say what we wanted to say here?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
All right. Well, moving on, we have match 6 with Rugrats versus Derp, and sadly since Tosh isn't, diss him.
No bashing Rugrats. We have to talk about how
So,
good they are now.
Though I will say, even though it's clearly someone didn't come out on Rugrats, I think the Doria doing as much as he did is a good sign for Derp. It's a good sign that you don't need Hercule to carry, even though you kind of needed him to this match.
It's a nice silver lining for sure in a loss. I
Mhm.
think Roshi is a very strong character. He has his niche, and you have to find him for every team he's on. He has to find his way. Last year in Kaiju, he was very good. Obviously, bowl winner in 2020 really helped Muscle out. So Derp has to find the spot for Roshi. Hercule and Supreme Kai, they just got, beat up by the menaces of the leagues, the Trunks and Goten. I don't want to talk about this.
Hey,
They're two
no Go Tanks this week.
right? Not even Gotenks. They're two top 10 characters on Rugrats, and with the addition of another cold member, first one Frieza,
Yeah,
holding
X-Man.
it down. It was just a beat down, unfortunately, for Derp.
Frieza put Dodoria in his place as his henchman. That's
Are,
all.
are,
That's what happened.
are you sure? It looked more like Doria was putting Frieza in his place.
Well,
Mm.
Frieza killed him.
No,
or
no.
almost killed him.
Oh, I think it was more Dodoria was putting Frieza's team in its place, and then Frieza was like, nah, not having any.
Not having any of this. Yeah, exactly.
Not having it.
That's why the babysitter had come out.
I mean, we've seen what Kid Trunks can do in test. Well, a lot of us have seen what Kid Trunks can do in testing. He is a monster with those ults. The damage is insane. Like
Mhm.
the fact he just shut Herc down so quickly, and we know how strong Herc is. Like,
Yeah.
it's insane. It's actually insane. So not to gas Rugrats up too much, but another scary team.
They have
I
the
think-
potential to make it all the way.
But I'm not gonna lie though, I feel like Herc versus Trunks, which is a bad matchup. Really, the only way you can beat Herc is to outspam him. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
Well,
Because
Yeah.
kind of easy
try
to
to
do
melee
when
him.
Herc decides to not spam.
Yeah,
exactly.
I think
Yeah,
that
like-
we're a little bit unlucky in this match, to be fair.
Mhm.
But
There was
Probably,
definitely
yeah.
some, RNG factors, but not taking anything away from Rugrats. Very strong team. Derp, I hope you pull it out. You're in a tough Kai, man.
And
very
honestly, I think with Dodoria proving that he can do the damage to be like a 40k character, 50k character, with Salsa, who we know got changed, and Kui, who does his work. I think Derp can make it really far.
They made it
They
third
have
place last year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they have the tools to go very far. It's just, are they polished this year? That's the real question.
Hmm
And I think Anthony, I think you've said this before, but I feel like a lot of teams have gone up. So we'll see whether Derp sort of followed with them, if you know what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think a lot of teams have
On up as
improved this
much
season.
as them.
Yeah.
Well, with that, shall we get moving to match 7?
Yes, I'm dying to talk about this one.
Oh god.
Moving on to match 7, we have Sentai Squad versus Namek, and moving a little bit away from Namek for a moment because that team is very similar to a previous week. Looking at Sentai, which of course again also has the same similar team but different really stats. Like Mortal was carrying them last week, but Birder doing 70,000.
New and improved buffed Birder, natural defense and a little bit higher key rate.
Wasn't it buffed
He's
last year?
Yeah.
I thought it was
Yeah,
buffed
it
this
was.
offseason.
No.
Oh, was it
was
last year?
Yeah,
Yeah, because he did really well last season as well.
Oh, man, Sentai, sorry, off my radar. Still buffed Birder either way.
well,
Looking
they
nice.
still have buffs. We just can't talk about him because he's not here.
Yeah.
But anyway, like this was still pretty close for the stat averages because now moving back to Namek, our previous elite King Piccolo kind of dropping the ball here, man.
Kind of fell off. What happened?
He's
Case of the case of the Alzheimer's, my guy.
or he was just
Alzheimer's.
versus the god himself, Birder.
I think that it was
Alright.
a horrible matchup.
I can agree to that.
Oh,
But
well, you say that, but I don't think that's true. It's not even
No?
that bad of a matchup. Really? Isn't it? If Krillin can Burger as well as he did, King Piccolo should be able to do the same.
I feel
When I
like
think of King personally, I think of him spamming the Samuzen and his ults.
Yeah.
And Birder doesn't give him a chance to do any of that. He's all up in his face
I
constantly.
think if it was like late against Burr, I think I'd have, like hedge my bets more.
I think
or
it
like-
kind of was late against Birder for a bit.
But like to start with, initially.
Yeah.
Right.
Because late has that like false courage, which can allow him to do like a light grenade, which
Yeah.
I'm still waiting for it to be called Cherry Bullet.
One of these days.
He says it in the game. It kind of happened.
I do have a question for the Namek coach though. Are you regretting your early Piccolo pickup and dropping Tambourine?
Nope.
Considering the okay.
I was
Curious.
gonna stop him. Nope. Look, Tamborine's bad. I'll tell you that
Oh.
to the end of time. It's terrible. No,
Man,
lack of build
40
low stats, all that good stuff. Sure, early Piccolo didn't do his best here, but there's still many options I haven't explored yet. So let's wait and see.
I think
Okay.
that I would agree in the sense that maybe early Piccolo is more flexible. I would guess.
Yeah.
Tambourine seems like a one and done. You kind of like have to build him a certain way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, literally, the only reason why we dropped him. Well, let's say the only reason. The two reasons why we dropped him is because A, he's bad. Then two is because we had too many meleeers on our team.
You needed that
Which means
flexibility,
Exactly.
which is weird
So
when you
we
say
were-
too. Which is weird when you say too many meleeers when King Piccolo and Nuova are right there and they were doing kind of decent.
There's
King
too
Piccolo
many.
was not doing well on spam. I can tell you that right now.
In testing, not in the actual season.
I mean, I won't
But
question
King
your Namek coach. I'll just
yeah,
say
yeah,
good luck
well,
to you.
but,
Namek knows Namek more than we know Namek.
True,
That's how I
true.
know.
But one thing I wanted to ask you, Oasis, how did you feel about Nail almost bringing it back versus Sentai?
Bro, I felt so many emotions when that happened. I was like, we finally got Nail working, potentially. And then when he just barely didn't make it, bro, I was so sad. I was very disappointed.
You know, gotta give it up to Nail.
But don't get me
though.
wrong,
He did
just
try.
put the effort in.
Oh yeah, like, don't get me wrong. Like I don't blame Nail at all for what happened. In fact, he did so well makes me happy. It's just like knowing that messing up my post could have changed the whole thing. Because actually, Late Pickle was not supposed to be in this week.
It wasn't supposed to be New Ova.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
But
even for the mess up, it still became very close.
Yeah.
It was.
exactly.
But what is your plan for the early Piccolo?
So right now we're stuck between either making him into early Goku of last season, or turning him into a what was his name? What's his name? I think Mercenary Tao of this season, one or the other.
Mm-hmm.
Because right now Mercenary Tao is on a spam build, keep us one, Power Rage launch support, and then
That
good
he
stuff.
is.
So we're trying to see which one will work. But since Nail is possibly working, then we might just have him be early Goku. Who knows?
Well, yeah. You could
Good
have.
luck, man.
Just to go to Sentai for 1 second.
Mhm.
Let's say
Mhm.
happy to see that Saiyaman's actually like pulling his weight, like because I know
Yeah.
they were struggling with him for a while.
I'm feeling good about Sentai. I hope they make it all the way to the finals if androids don't. That's my hope.
I feel like Sentai Squad is going to be what Derp was last season.
I agree.
Okay.
Because like Saiyaman's definitely had his down moment because people have been only trying him on Key and Super Plus builds. But then the Attack Plus 2 build is actually very scary.
Yeah, he's a strong character. He's a Gohan. Gohans are good.
If they can get Sailwoman working the way she was in, well,
2020?
the way she was 2020, then they've got an even stronger team, like very strong.
For sure.
I
But the
would
fact
say
that
we
might
might not
be-
see Saiyaman.
This is true.
They're
we
also
might not.
2-0 without Jiren coming out on the field, so that's
I-
an interesting stat too.
I think that the main one for me that might get dropped for Sailwoman might be Jace, but that's just me looking at Jace in previous seasons where he's been very wishy-washy.
Yeah, hit or miss for sure.
Yeah.
I don't think they'll drop Jace. He fills the role that no one else can fill, which is
Yeah.
just spam.
Yeah,
I don't think they can drop
I think
him. Want to.
I really think the only other person that can do it is or the only two other people in my opinion who can do it are Saiyaman and Jiren, but it is kind of hard because they have a Rush B2 while Jace doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But at the same time, he does have max power mode. He does have long range B2s, which is exactly what you would want from a spammer, anyways.
I think I'm not saying that because of Jace's kit, 'cause I think Jace's kit is good. I just mean because I don't know. He's always seems to be a hard character to figure out.
Well,
Like,
to be fair,
I'm-
that's just spammers in general,
yeah.
especially ones with max power mode B2s.
Oh, you don't need to tell me about that twice.
Are we good?
Be good to move
I-
on.
I will say one more thing though, is I expect Burger to be at least top 15, if not top 10.
Yeah.
Because
Mhm.
without power body or afterimage strike, it's so hard to get out of his melee.
His melee
Unless
speed is
you're-
just ridiculous as well.
Exactly.
All right.
All right.
Well,
But yeah.
moving on, we have match 8, Budokai versus Hybrids, and here we get to see a couple of different changes on Budokai at least. It's like we get to see Android 18 come out this week, and we get to see
Yeah.
one of their newest additions this season, Videl, who was a part of the bowl winning for Royals last year.
And now she's a permanent member on Budokai. Not a great showing. She had to fight Ultimate Gohan, who
I mean, he did win them the match.
That is
I'd say Vegito and Yamcha played a bigger role, but I understand where you're coming from.
No, yeah, she did do.
It's the
She
finishing
did,
blow.
but speaking of that Gohan, we get to see the return of Ultimate Gohan with I don't think anyone's surprised by the 87,000 that he did.
Mm, nah, he's a top 3 character, as previous seasons have made us believe. He is very, very
He,
strong.
he is the sweeper game sweeper himself.
Mhm.
I say top 10 character, but sure.
I think top 5 is.
I think top 5 depending on the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, top 5 easily.
If you have to depend on the day, he's top 10. Get out of here.
No, just depending. I'm saying depending on the day, whether or not he's like 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. I'm just saying he's a top 5 character.
Can we talk about how Hybrids picked up Nam, a former Budokai member? And honestly, I'm kind of happy for it. I think he's better than Kid Gohan right now, and I think that's gonna, average the team out of Hybrids. They won't have such a big weakness anymore.
Even though it's probably still a defense minus character, it's not as small as a character. But just say one.
He also has more melee stats than Kid, so he kind of runs his build better than Kid ever did.
I will say one unfortunate thing for hybrids is I think Teen Gohan got put against the worst matchup, which is Vegito.
Yeah, that was a tough matchup for sure. Vegito,
And-
third best FA.
And by the way, this match still ended within a melee combo.
It was
Oh,
close.
yeah, it was very close.
Future and
say that-
Videl, the finale.
I want to say that the Vegito Teen Han matchup was bad, but then Videl Ultimate Gohan kind of evens it out, in my opinion. Because
that was a tough matchup for
Oh,
Videl. She kept
that's
running into
horrific.
Kamehamehas. It's not fun.
I think she did. I think either she or 18 killed Ultimate though.
I think it was.
Because I remember the
18,
I remember because I remember the last part was just Videl versus Future to end it off, and I can't say either team can be mad here. Like, Teen got put into a very unfavorable matchup. Vegito and Yamcha doing their thing, popping off, and even though Videl didn't do super well, she did get put versus potentially best member on hybrids.
And we've seen what Videl can do
Mhm.
in Royals last season.
With those
endless
Videl
looping.
loops.
The Videl loops, yeah. We know what she can do. So. I mean, what I have to say is I give props to Budokai and Havoc, the Budokai coach, for getting default AI to work. So I mean, I don't know if you want me to explain that, but everyone gets obviously an AI. You have a list of AIs and they're meant to do certain things. And default AI has almost exclusively never been used except for on one character, and that's Deborah. And even then, it broke.
Even then, they put him on other AIs, and now he's actually, threatening.
Better. but Yamcha just seems to work on it, and I respect someone for trying that.
But you do also have to consider default AI most of the time is a 50-50 AI, so
it is a coin flip, yeah. But
so
they seem to be winning the coin flips. They're winning the coin flips at the moment, so we'll see how that pans out.
Honestly, this was in my opinion, just a really good match in the week one, very close one. Ups and downs for both teams, yes, but just a very even looking match.
Yeah, 100%, yeah. Great way to end the week.
But with that, anyone else got anything to say?
No, I'm good.
Alright, moving on, we have the tier list with Anthony, do you want to go ahead and explain what these are?
Yeah. So this is not my tier list. This is a member of our Discord server's tier list. His name is Fiora. He'll be in the comments probably if you have any questions for him. But the tier list is based off of how much damage a character did minus the overkill. So for example, let's say Tapion did 80,000, right? But he's in the 70,000 tier. What does that mean? That means some of his bigger attacks, like his B2s or ultimates, did overkill damage. So he did more damage than he needed to. So Fiora minuses that and he puts him in tiers like this. He also does cleanup. So if someone like Broly had to come in and only had to do a bar of damage, so like 10k, so it doesn't really stat screw him in the tier list. He puts him in the cleanup tier so that it didn't really matter, right?
And also,
That's the basic gist of it.
and for characters like Gotenks, he uses, I believe, the bars gain.
Yes. So Gotenks is different. When he comes up, basically, he'll factor in how much time Goten and or Trunks was on the field before they transform and kind of have it based off that. It's a kind of a complicated thing, but it makes sense when you talk to him about it.
Yeah. Talking about this specific tier list, there's notable things. A lot of FAs in the 70+ range, or
The top 3, maybe.
Who's the best character this week? I want you guys to say it.
well,
What team was he?
by the way, this is
Papillon
not
for cinema.
this is not ordered in base of damage. It's ordered in every tier. It's ordered based on the team they're on. So the reason why Papillon is first is because your team is literally the first team in the alphabetical order.
Well, that's what he says to be nice to you guys. In reality, it's just because androids are the best in every tier they're in.
In reality, Trunks did the most.
Yep.
Who? I never heard of that guy.
The android killer. Yeah.
I mean, when I look to the right, I do see Trunks there. I see Ultimate. I see Tappy on there, and he looks a lot cooler than the other two. But that's just me.
Dang. I was going to put Rudigarn behind Papillon, but I guess I made it too transparent where it's not visible.
I see it. Hey, it works for me. I see it.
Vaguely see it, but yeah.
Well, yeah, you guys can see it, but when I'm on the side,
is it hot?
No, it's literally not showing up.
It's alright. Don't worry about it.
That's fine.
Hey, you guys know it's there at least. It's fine. But a
That's
lot.
how the tier list works.
But hey, Birder in the 65 to 70 range, at least based on that tier list of standards.
Oh.
I mean, the preseason tier list. I'm not saying take it with a grain of salt, but it is an interesting snapshot into what it was like. The tier list is more like a look back kind of thing and see, whoa, in week 3 this guy was on top.
Yeah, it's funny because I'm looking down there and I'm seeing Herc like 20 to 25. You wait until week 5 and he's like 70.
You see,
he will be up there.
You're seeing early Goku and Vegeta down there as well.
Yeah,
that's Teen Gohan and Bardock right next to 19. It's just very confusing.
Frieza's down there. No.
Jace right next to Devilman.
Yeah, it's just it's just a nice little thing to look at over time.
Yeah. But then you also look down there and just look at the pure and clean, and it's scary that those characters didn't really come out.
Very scary.
Shameless plug: if you have a tier list and you're in the Discord or you want to join the Discord and be a part of this, just make one and post it, and we'll see what we can do to bring it on here.
But also, do please try to explain how it works.
Yes. Yeah. Explain how your tier list works. We'll look at it, and it'll probably get posted on here. So go.
Or just every week via the Discord. Unless.
Yeah.
Unless you just forget.
So did we get our fill of the tier list?
Can I just say Raditz being so high up, my G, he's doing things, I guess. Worth presenting. Things I never expected. Alright, but where's the true GOAT? Where's your Goldo?
Yeah, where's Goldo?
Gold.
Can I get a second FA?
Goldo, no, Goldo next year, dropping King Cole, putting in Goldo.
That is the tech. I know it. Okay.
I mean, one, you give King Cole the Royals, which you guys kind of were trying to do this season, I think.
Yeah, in exchange for the man on the top there on the right, Mr. Metacooler himself.
But you can make Goldo better. You can show everyone why Goldo is the final boss of the losers tournament.
This is true, and it's very appealing. But let me get a bowl first somehow. Let me put a bowl from somewhere, and then maybe we see.
I think
Until that day. Sorry, Gordo.
I do.
I feel like that's the way to have it,
Honestly, I
because-
think your only safe drop is Sarbon if you wanted to do that.
Yes, because no one can actually pick him up. So
Free testing on Zarbon?
maybe.
Freeze our bun testing.
Anyway, shall we get moving to our final part of
Oh
this
yeah,
cast?
I'm trying to get to these predictions.
Predictions. Oh
Hey.
man, what would you got?
Oh wait, there's
Yeah.
there's a Rudigarn on my screen. I just have to click.
Oh jeez, this guy.
Hey,
This
hey,
guy.
I'm testing stuff as well. That's part of the reason why we do these preseason casts.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, we are here on predictions, and just so everyone knows, this is being recorded on Thursday, the final day of the builds. So most of the stuff that we say here will just be on the thing, or you'll most likely see it before the cast even comes out. Who knows? But
Yeah.
with round one, I'm just gonna do what you said earlier, Anthony, because I was thinking about it through the cast. With round one, we have
Yeah, no worries.
Boogens and Cold. I think, or I'm just gonna have everyone do their prediction of it first. I think Boogens will take it. Not to knack your team, Xmat.
That's fine. Carry on.
Yeah, Anthony, you can go ahead, and after everyone says their piece, we can explain.
Okay. I think I want to go Boogens for this one.
I'll go Boogens as well.
4-0 Boogens it is then.
Wow, you have no belief in your team.
It's not right. Let me do the first explanation. Then it's not that I don't have belief in my team. It's just there are certain teams that I'm
Struggle?
cursed against. I'm cursed.
You just
There's
struggle?
no way. Yeah, I struggle against certain. So androids is one of them. I don't know. I shouldn't say that in front of Anthony, but he's going to gas him up too much. But and Boogens is one of the other ones. I don't think we've beat them in either of the seasons, and I think we usually get kind of trashed by them. So I'm just going based off that. But I still have faith in my team. I wouldn't be surprised if we pulled out a win. So
I will say that for at least my prediction, it's just Kid Boo can always do his 50 even without ulting. Buhan and Evil Boo are just consistent threats in general, especially Buhan. Spofovich is a really decent starter, and we have not seen Majin Buu yet, even though he hasn't been looking too great, like if you see him in like seasons past, but he's been looking decent in testing recently, I think.
yeah, he
Yeah.
has. He's a similar thing to King Cold. He's got the one sort of build. It's like Key +1, Eternal Life, and it works. So
No, he just got Eternal Life.
well, yeah, just Eternal Life, really. But yeah.
But yeah, Anthony, go ahead.
I think Boogens are going to be too aggressive for Cold to want to do what they want to do. So a lot of the old spamming, a lot of the regular spamming, I think characters like Evil Boo, even Majin Buu, and Buhan are going to be in their face a little too much for that to occur. But these are both very, very scary teams, so don't underestimate either of them. It could go either way.
I'm actually going to change my prediction to Cold.
Oh, okay.
Simply because so like Anthony was saying, Boogens will be aggressive, yes, but at the same time, that's only going to be two people, mainly Spofovich and Buhan. The other two want to stay back and charge.
I don't
And
know.
then-
Kid Buu is rather aggressive.
He is rather aggressive, yes, but he still would rather fire off a B2 before approaching, and that could give Cold some time to have a tag, try to
True.
full power, B2, etc. And these small opportunities I feel like Cold will capitalize on if given the opportunity. So I think I'll give it to Cold.
I'm taking your vote of confidence. Thank you, Oasis. I'll take it.
Xmat taking what he can get. What a But that's 3-1 to Boogens. And for match 2, we have Sentai and Androids, what will be in the main season a divisional match. That's what the yellow means right there.
Mhm.
But I think even though Sentai hasn't brought out Jiren yet, and they might versus Androids, I just think the possibility of both the 17s being in, Super 17 looking way better than he has seasons past, and well, we obviously know what 17 can do. I'm just giving this to Androids.
I'm going to give it to myself because, spoiler alert, both the 17s are in. And we've been doing some tweaking on Mr. 16, and I think he'll show up and
Wait,
perform very nicely.
wait,
So,
one question. Is there electric
hmm,
house here?
no.
Alright, change my vote.
Too many. Listen, there's too many good savior users. Not everyone can get their shine. Also, there's been some tweaks to Super 17 too, and I think he'll be good to go. So, sorry Sentai, but I think we're gonna beat you this time.
And damn, you could've used electric house if you're on a not destroyable map.
Right. I'm gonna say Sentai. I'm gonna upset the apple cart a little bit.
Oh, I'm upset.
Hey, we live for the upsets.
So my main reasoning for it is they've got Berta who can kind of, if he's in, I feel like he can sort of pace the good because he has such fast melee. He doesn't have to worry about being out aggressed. If that makes sense, as much. So he's kind of like a little bit of a counter. I think they'll put Jiren in, and I think Jiren will do well because again, I just think he's a strong character in general anyway. But I just don't think that he'll like. I think he'll come in and have a good performance basically. And I just think Sentai have been a little bit more consistent this off season so far. I think remember week 1 didn't Androids have to pull it back with 19 and who else was it? Was it 17?
It was just regular 17.
Yeah, it was a bit of a pullback. So I'm just gonna slightly give it to Sentai. But
I'll give it to Andrew for sure. Sorry, I hate to say it, but regular 17 by himself is such a huge boon for androids that I'm having a lot of trouble seeing Sentai overcome it. That's really it.
All right, that's fair.
cool.
Alright, moving on. We then have match 3 for next week. Royals v Derp, and no matter how much I want Derp to win, it's going to be hard to really compete with Royals. It's like upsides here. Like they can still. I think there's still improvement on King Vegeta, but he has shown he can work. Slug has been performing to the best of his abilities, and sometimes that's all they just needed to win. Meta and Deborah are consistent threats, and then we have not seen Majin Vegeta yet. So I'm just giving it to Royals based on the fact that they have just so many powerhouses.
I'm gonna go with Royals as well. I'm just gonna go with them because I think that like you've got Deborah, you've got like who I think will be in, and you've got Majin Vegeta who again I think will be in, and just those two alone. And then you add like Tambourine if he's still in, who's been doing well, and then Metacooler if he's in. He's been like last season he was really good. This last match he was really good. I just think they've got too many threats that I think it's going to be hard for Derp to kind of match them. So
Alright.
I would go with Derp, honestly. I feel like this is going to be the week Royalists finally decide who's going to be on the bench. You're going to see a lot of their weaker characters out and about, which will give Derp at least the opportunity to try and win this week. With how consistent they are, well, I wouldn't say consistent, with how much potential they have, I feel like they can definitely seize the chance to take a win here.
I gotta give it to the champs, man. I think they're just on a roll right now. Not much that can stop them, unfortunately. Sorry, Derp. but Royals. That's my vote.
No. Okay, that's 3-1 Royals. But next one we have an interesting one here.
Mm.
We got Namek versus Muscle Oasis. You want to give a little bit of insight? Who are you bringing in for this week?
I'm bringing in. I actually don't even remember. So I'm bringing in late Piccolo, King Piccolo, early Piccolo, and Nuova. In that order.
So
Now,
basically, Nail's going to be replaced with Nuova.
pretty much.
3 Piccolos and an N.
3 Piccolos and 1. Yes.
Actually, wait, I just realized that on your team. You have 3 Piccolos, and then both your other characters start with N. Anyway.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And anyway, going back to the prediction, I think if Muscle can get 13 and Trunks performing like how they did, or if they, along with like being able to beef up Raccoon and Garlic to a higher level, I can say they can win this one. But just based on who you're bringing Oasis and how powerful we've seen them, especially late in Nuova and King as of recent, I'm gonna have to give it to Namek.
Oh, weird. Personally, I would say this. If Brian decides to try, we lose.
So if he takes Devilman out, is what you're saying. If he doesn't leave Devilman in,
pretty much. Yeah, that seems to be the story of Muscle. Regardless, it depends on if Ryan wants to try. If he tries, he wins, as we saw last season. If he doesn't want to try, yeah.
I think you're gonna win, Namek, because I think Devilman's gonna be in this week. I think all preseason he is, and in the mid-season they're just gonna not use him, which is fine. You know, they want to see how he works.
Namek, regardless of if Devilman is in or not, because I think if they don't have Devilman in, they'll have Akumin, and I may be biased in this, but Akum is very inconsistent. And also, I just think Namek's I feel like Muscle's quite a volatile team. Sometimes they have weeks where they just absolutely destroy, or they get they have massive underperformances. But I think Namek is you're just more consistent. Like late Piccolo, or kind of always does the same thing almost. And then you've got Nail usually does quite well. At least in the 40k range. King Piccolo obviously had that 25k, which generally is in testing at least has been consistently decent. So I give it to Namek, yeah.
Well, I probably should have told you this before y'all put your votes in, but everyone except Nuova is on newish build. Some changes here and there.
Yeah, I still go for it.
I'm still going with you, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, guys.
He's crying in the corner.
But Oasis, it is up to you now.
Oh yeah. To me, it's up to late Piccolo to be perfect, right?
No, I think he means your vote.
Yeah, it's your vote. Unless you said it, I just.
Are you finalizing your vote, putting it in stone?
Oh yeah, Namek's gonna win. Don't worry.
Okay.
Alright, so that's 4-0 Namek, our first 4-0 of the week. Moving on, we have our match 5, Cinema and Kaiju, and before you guys do your votes, I could tell you who we're going to be sending.
I would have told you guys, but I don't know if it's well, it doesn't really matter if Dawes sees this anyway, but I don't know. It's worth saying it just in case.
But with who we're bringing in order: Icon, Zangaya, Broly, and Gogeta.
Kaiju wins. Kaiju wins, right, baby. Let's go.
Kaiju. Okay.
I'm still going to say my own team because, technically I've not been wrong yet, but could always be proven wrong, but Kaiju is just one of those teams, in my opinion, that is like they're really good. It's just they have counters like every other team, but their counter is their counter is power body breakers, which my team definitely has. And since half of our lineup is also running Savior, that is more power body breakers. And then with the Pycon spam, that's could be really hard for them to deal with. But anyway, we already know where
I'm gonna give it to Kaiju. I think their characters are going to just go crazy this match. Adult Gohan's gonna be out there. He's gonna go stupid. Bardock and Nappa are gonna, tag team old spam. Scouter's gonna be. I think they're gonna pull out all the stops, and I think they're gonna beat you.
Alright.
I'll be honest. I like Kaiju, and I would like Kaiju to win because, like, if I wasn't on cold, Kaiju would be the team I would support probably. But
they're all innate cold members. Just they're on
pretty much, and they have Scouter. Scouter is one of my favorite characters too. But I think that Cinema have got this because I think Nappa will probably end up being in, unless they might not put him in. But I think that like the characters, I don't know. I think that Nappa is a bit of a he either does well, like he has to be against like certain matchup. If he's against someone with like fast melee, or like I think he gets kind of screwed over. And I hate that V2 he has, the volcanic explosion one. It always misses. Hate it. Terrible. So I don't know. The lineup you're bringing in is pretty hard as well. Even with Zangief, who's actually been doing pretty well in testing.
So we got 2-2, our first half and half, I think, almost ever. What you get with not just 3 people in.
What a divisional.
Oh, I'm feeling the shade, Destiny. I'm feeling the shade.
It's not shade, it's just you don't normally have always had 4 people in.
Yeah, no, I'm joking.
But moving on to match 6, I believe here. I can't count for some reason.
Yep, it is 6.
We have RW versus Budokai, and I would like RW to win after what happened the previous week. But I just think if they're going to bring in Blue again, it's going to be harder, especially with how we've seen Budokai recently with Vegito and Yamcha destroying everybody. So
yeah,
I'm gonna have to give it to Budokai.
Same. I think it's a Budokai win. I think Budokai are putting their best foot forward, and I think RW are still testing some stuff out. So,
yeah. I agree.
That's 4-0.
I think that the problem is General Blue didn't even do the worst last time. So they unless RW can, maybe they've got other builds, maybe they've got other things.
Or maybe they just don't put in General Blue. Who knows?
Or maybe they don't put in General Blue. But even if they don't put Blue in, they need to try and bring the levels of some of the other people up. And I think it's going to be a struggle against Budokai, considering how well they've been doing. So.
I do feel like RW has a chance of winning if they don't bring General Blue and bring either Ader or Majub along with N Vegeta. Because we've seen the power of early Goku. It's just kind of hard when you have General Blue in the back and everyone else isn't really doing well either.
And Yajirobe especially seems to be kind of a problem for them at the moment. So
they definitely have a 4-man roster that can wipe a team though. But that's 4-0 to Budokai. Moving on, we have GT and Hybrids. The other thing that's hard for these predictions is that they can technically bench and unbench anyone, and they can just keep the same benches for multiple weeks. So it's just harder to do these. We have to get a little bit more creative, I believe.
Yeah, I'll lean Hybrids. I think Yeah, I'll lean hybrids. I think Ultimate Gohan's coming out. They're gonna do their thing.
I will lean to hybrids since we've seen all of their members, while for GT we've only seen the main four that they've had for the first 2 weeks. Even though Baby is a strong character for them, he hasn't been in yet, so it can be too much of an unknown factor for this. So I'm leaning hybrids.
I am
Okay.
going to lean GT. I'm not just doing this. It's not just because they've had a bit of a rough time recently. I just think that like they've got the tools there. I mean, Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, very strong character. I can feel that he's going to have like a pop off performance this week. And then you've got I think Sin hasn't been as good as he can be, and I think that maybe he'll come back and do what they want him to do, 45 sort of thousand that mark. And then I think they will keep Jiro in. I just get that feeling, but I think he'll have a better time of it this week. So I'm gonna say GC.
Alright.
Okay.
If we're optimistic, I definitely say hybrids. Jiro probably will have a 30K week, if not less.
Yeah. Unless he fights that Teen Gohan, am I right?
I think if he goes against Teen, he's in a good position.
So Teen can also just blow him up, and he doesn't. Without Kamehamehas, he can definitely blow him up with like rushes or just melee.
I think for me it comes down to if Jiro gets put against like Ultimate Gohan, or maybe not, but maybe Nam as well. Like I feel like he probably just loses.
Even Sword Trunks.
Or Sword Trunks, but I think that Teen and Future especially rely on like Ki a lot more, and I think he can maybe get away with going against those. Jiro is very matchup dependent, so we'll see.
Alright, so it's 3-1 hybrids. And here we have our final prediction of the cast, ED versus Rugrats, and I think this can go either way, but if I had to give it to one, I'd just say ED because they have been able to bring a near loss back to a near win and to a win before because of Mid Goku and Tien just being really good anchors. Also, and to be fair, this could have just been a bad week for Mid Vegeta.
Yeah. I say Rugrats.
Oh yeah, go on. Sorry.
I say Rugrats. I think the little guy's got it in him. I think Rayleigh's gonna come out. She's gonna do Rayleigh things. I think Trunks and Goten gonna smash him. And you know what? Frieza's coming out too. He's gonna be doing his thing. So yeah, Rugrats.
Alright.
I'm. Oh, sorry.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry. Oh, okay. I would definitely say ED. Personally, no offense. Shoot, no, I'm not even gonna say that. I would say ED just because, once again, Mid Goku and Tien being fantastic anchors. But I'm assuming Krillin's going to be back in, and Mid Vegeta will be replacing Goku this time around, which I feel like is their strongest lineup, anyways. So.
I'm struggling on this one a little bit. I think for me it depends on if Rugrats do fusions. If they let go Tanks in, I think it might be like favoring towards ED because I like Go Tanks as like a wild card, but I feel like they're stronger with Ult Spam Kid Trunks. So
they're stronger with the separate characters instead of just the one.
Yeah, because I feel like Goten does his job really well as the attack man, and then Kid Trunks does the ult spam really well. So I'll slightly edge towards ED, but let's see.
Alright. This is 3-1 to ED, but still a very close one. Go either way. But with that, we've reached the end of the Capsule cast. Check out the links to our Discord where you can talk to us and maybe even, help us. Who knows? You can check out the website where all the builds are posted as well. Our Twitter and our TikTok in the description below. Don't forget to comment any improvements that you want for this, or just anything that we could have done better down below in the comments. And also, just don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed and want to see more. We've recently reached over 1,000 subscribers, so that's nice. And that, I've been your host, Destiny.
I'm your co-host Anthony.
Your other co-host, Oasis.
And I have been your very special guest, Xmat.
And we will be seeing you on the flip side.